The quiet suburban street that had always felt safe erupted into chaos in a single instant. Mark's pregnant wife, Emily, was walking back from the mailbox when a HOA officer suddenly confronted her, insisting she had broken some vague neighborhood rule. Before she could respond, a sharp sting of a taser sent her to the ground, her hand instinctively clutching her stomach. Mark's heart froze, adrenaline surging through his veins. He sprinted toward her, every step heavy with fear and anger. The street that had always felt calm and predictable now seemed like a trap. Neighbors peeked from their windows, whispering in shock. What the officer didn't know, what no one realized, was that Mark wasn't just a resident. He was a federal judge, trained to stay calm under pressure and aware of every nuance of the law. In that split second, he vowed nothing would harm his wife or their unborn child. Every instinct, every law he had ever upheld, now became his weapon. Mark's voice cut through the chaos, calm yet commanding. "Step away. Now." Neighbors froze, mid-action, sensing the tension. Emily groaned, trying to sit up, pain flickering across her face. The officer hesitated, unsure how to react to the sudden authority radiating from Mark. His mind raced. Every second mattered. The taser in the officer's hand felt like a ticking clock, a threat to the fragile life he held dear. "She's pregnant," he said, his voice steady but sharp. "You have no right to do this." The officer stammered, offering vague excuses about rules and safety. Mark's gaze didn't waver. He carefully stepped between Emily and the officer, his posture protective yet unassuming. Bystanders held their breath as the quiet tension thickened. The neighborhood street now transformed into a theater of law, authority, and raw emotion. The officer's confidence began to falter under Mark's calm but undeniable presence. Emily's trembling hands rested on her stomach as Mark knelt beside her, offering reassurance. The officer fidgeted, trying to maintain authority, but every word he spoke lacked weight. Mark's calm, deliberate questions exposed the officer's ignorance, his improvised rules crumbling under scrutiny. Neighbors slowly emerged from their homes, drawn by the escalating tension. Some whispered, others filmed cautiously, sensing the drama unfolding. Mark's mind worked like a finely tuned instrument, balancing protection, legal authority, and emotional support for Emily. He explained the risks, reminding the officer that detaining a pregnant woman without lawful cause carried serious consequences. Every word, carefully measured, increased the officer's uncertainty. Emily, sensing the shift in energy, took a shaky breath, her fear slowly replaced with relief. Mark's presence, calm and commanding, turned the tide of the moment. Mark reached into his jacket, producing a badge and identification that silenced the officer immediately. "I am a federal judge," he said evenly, allowing the weight of his authority to resonate. The officer's face paled, confidence evaporating into a mix of guilt and fear. Neighbors gasped quietly, absorbing the gravity of the revelation. Emily leaned against Mark, drawing strength from his calm demeanor. "Do you understand what this means?" he asked, his voice steady but firm. The officer attempted to regain composure, muttering apologies, but his authority was shattered. Mark's presence had shifted the balance entirely. The once assertive figure now trembled under the scrutiny of law, witnesses, and his own misjudgment. The street, which had moments ago been tense and threatening, felt charged with the lessons of authority, respect, and consequence. Emily's breathing eased as Mark's hand rested protectively over hers. Mark's calm authority dominated the street, his words measured, precise, and unwavering. He instructed the officer to step away and wait for real law enforcement if necessary. "You are not authorized to enforce HOA rules like this. Step aside, immediately," he said, his tone carrying the weight of law and personal conviction. Neighbors watched, some nodding in quiet approval, others whispering at the display of composure. Emily, still shaken, felt safety radiate from her husband, relief replacing fear. The officer hesitated, realizing his mistake could carry serious legal consequences. Mark's careful balance of assertiveness and calm ensured the situation remained controlled, protecting his family while teaching the intruder an unforgettable lesson. The tension melted gradually, replaced by respect and awe. Every movement, every word was deliberate, reinforcing that knowledge, law, and patience often trump brute force or intimidation. Eventually, the officer retreated, muttering weak excuses, while Mark supported Emily as she slowly stood. Neighbors approached cautiously, offering murmured thanks and admiration. Emily's hand rested on her stomach, a visible sign of vulnerability now matched by reassurance. Mark held her gently, ensuring she was unharmed, every step careful and deliberate. The air shifted from tension to quiet relief, the incident leaving a lasting impression on everyone present. It was a vivid reminder that authority and knowledge could resolve situations without escalation. Emily whispered her gratitude to Mark, her voice trembling but sincere. Mark nodded, reflecting on how quickly ordinary streets could become dangerous when authority was misused, and how calm, precise action could restore safety instantly. Later, in the warm glow of their living room, Mark and Emily sat quietly, processing the day's events. Their unborn child was safe, and the neighborhood had witnessed a dramatic but controlled confrontation. Mark reflected on the fragility of safety, even in familiar places, and the importance of knowledge, composure, and courage. Emily rested her head on his shoulder, still trembling but reassured. Outside, the suburban street returned to its usual calm, but the lesson lingered. Respect, law, and protection are more powerful than fear or arrogance. The couple held hands, quietly grateful, knowing that courage, love, and authority had prevented a tragedy and restored peace. In that moment, family and justice prevailed, silent, steadfast, and undeniable.